Oh, great. We're getting started.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
States have seceded. The United States Army ramps up activity. The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance. Your president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
I guess it's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America.
We just try to stay out with what we see on the news. Seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens? You're moving to D.C. today.
Hey, you go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol.
Every instinct in me says this is death.
What?
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning house. Don't do that. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding. What? You're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
Good morning. What's up, buddy? I don't smoke it, but you can if you want to. I don't care. It's all good. I have a lot of people who listen to me from the Navajo Nation that smoke it. So, hey, it's all good. Anybody that judges? Well, you know. Who cares? Yes, American. I'm playing my Civil War intro of the new movie that's scaring everybody. That's going to be out April 12th in America and the UK. Oh, I can't wait for that. What's up, Turkey? How you doing this morning? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are tuning in from. We are kicking off 3 periods of nonstop play. You are in lockdown right now, so don't you go nowhere and stay because we got it going on. News, weather, traffic, and more. And inside the coach's corner coming up in the final period, UFL football. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. You are Ryan O'Neal's guest. And I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide all over that shoutcast. Shout it out loud across that RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock, Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We are across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, eh? And finally, ladies and gentlemen, across the Jordan Communication and Family Radio Stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right there at 99.1 FM WQEE, EEE, right there in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, the home of news, Southern sports, and inspirational talk. We are Atlanta's talk station, and everybody's talking about us. So should you. Atlanta's talking about us. So are you. Listen up, and to my haters, I got this to say to you. Oh, I am the man around here. What's up, Warrior Defenders, and everybody on with us this morning? I appreciate you guys being with us. We're going to kick off period number 1 in just a few moments. We are in the next 3 periods of nonstop play of sports, entertainment, and more. We'll talk about Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, who undergoes successful surgery for a hernia. We'll get into that. We'll talk more details there. We'll tell you that Chad DayBell, part of the zombie apocalyptic Judgment Day, end of the day guy that married the crazy DayBell woman, who killed her kids. He's going to get his life in prison. We'll talk about that. Jabroni, as a Rock would say. We'll give you some updates from Friday night Smackdown. It is WrestleMania week, so we'll be doing WrestleMania previews on Friday's show as we head into the weekend. But we got a great list of guests all week long I'm going to get into in just a moment. So get ready for that. Always my list of guests are always ready to go. But anyway, we got a full day in store for you. Hello, my friend. How are you doing this morning too? We'll get into a lot of different news stories throughout the morning and sports. And I didn't shave yesterday. What's wrong with me? Seeing me looking all shaved like that. All right, before we get into our guest coming up this week, Alabama, USA. Well, I'm sure you probably voted for Alabama in the poll. That right there is already kicking it off there. Who will win the Final Four? Alabama, NC State, UConn, or Purdue? Right now, Alabama's leading with 100%. That is our poll question this morning. Reason we're doing a sports poll question is we go inside the coach's corner with Coach Tommy Lewis in the final period. He and I are going to talk about the Final Four, UFL football, and what's going on at Landmark Christian as they get ready for spring football action too. Also, tomorrow morning, Shane B joins us in the final period. He and I are going to talk about the top 10 movies as Godzilla and Kong, the new empire, took the top spot. We'll see if he got to watch the Ghostbusters new movie, Frozen Empire, which was #1 last week, or if he went ahead and checked out this Godzilla. We'll talk with him. We'll get our what's hot and what's not tomorrow on Tuesday's edition. Randy Rocky Cody will join us on Wednesday's edition in the final period. It's Weird Wednesday, and he and I are going to get weird. No, not that kind of weird, but weird. We're going to talk about, he's got some music news, the latest from the Motley Crue camp, what's going on with some of the heaviest bands off of his metalden.com. And his topic of the week is going to be comedian Sam Kinison. It's a murder conspiracy. He's finding out some murder conspiracy. That's coming up on Weird Wednesday. True Crime Thursday this week. We're going to, instead of true crime, we're traveling the state with Sally Toole. She is from Histories and Mysteries. We'll travel Georgia, Alabama, and Florida as our guide, our author, our YouTuber, our blogger, and our friend Sally Toole will join us on Thursday for another unusual situation. It could be what's the history and then what's behind the scary history of that. And Friday, well, we're going to do WrestleMania Friday. That's right. Won't be the whole show, but I'm going to be previewing WrestleMania coming up this weekend. And probably Friday we'll talk about another dark side of the ring like we did this past Friday episode. All of that's coming up for you. All right. Let's see what we got going on. We got a coffee. And I don't know if you're an Alabama fan. You say you're from Alabama, USA. I've got to say War Eagles. So used to that would start a fight. But in 2024, all I got to do is bring up two names in politics, and that'll go for you see everybody like, all right, now I'm not going to get into that. It's me messing with people. All right, we got a lot to talk about. Let's kick it off, see what's going on. 22 minutes past the hour, 62 degrees. Time and temperature is brought to you by Southern States Bank, making banking easy. Southern States Bank locations in Alabama and Georgia. Also Carrollton, and right here in historic downtown, right here in historic Noonan, I should say, in the Noonan area. All right, let's take a look at traffic by Killingsworth Realty. What's up, everybody? Thank you. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate every one of you wonderful, fantastic folks coming on this early in the morning or late in the evening, wherever you may be. Thank you. I appreciate you. You definitely don't have to do it alone. Let's take a look at what's going on with traffic between East Alabama and West Georgia. First in the Atlanta market. Let's go to Highway 411 and Cassieville, Road. That's in Bartow. Injury there, and it's blocked. The fire department, police department is blocking all lanes, delays in all directions. That's going to be up till about 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's move on down here to DeKalb County. Crash at Highway 78, right there, right past Brockett Road. And, of course, expect some delays to 7:39 this morning. Gwinnett County, there's a crash at I-85 near Highway 316. Unusual delays there. 7:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. No issues, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and downtown Newnan, Jack Street looking good. Bullsboro as well as Lower Fayetteville Road. And, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a look at Temple Avenue looking good this direction and back towards Popular Road, all looking good. Picking up here in front of the station, Jackson Street, heading towards LaGrange Street, down Interstate 85 southbound. No issues in Hogansville or Granville. LaGrange looking good on New Franklin Road this morning, as well as Commerce. Head on down the interstate to West Point. Take it right there in West Point. You can get off the West Point exit, but it's still construction going on. Head on down to exit 79 in Alabama. It's construction going on between Lynette and Valley. You have to go to exit 77 to get off there. No issues in Casita, as well as Auburn is looking good this morning. If you see anything I don't see, shoot us an email at 99classicrock@gmail.com. Well, in America, we support. In America, I think that we're doing the right thing by supporting Israel, but I think we're doing the right thing by dropping off and taking care of the Palestinian refugees there as well. So this is a war that is not America and no other world's real business. It's the people over there and what they've been going on. It's been going on in the Bible for a number of years. Got a question on the Facebook or the YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Do you support Palestine? And the reality of it is we don't really know what's going on. We know it's been this war's been going on from Israel in the Israel area and that Palestinian area for years. It's been in the Bible. And the one thing is we have to, as Americans, stand on the outside and let these sides deal with their conflict. We have to support everyone as human beings because we don't want no one dead. Even though there's been a lot of dead in this situation and everything, a lot of bombs and a lot of everything, and I give the news in just a few moments, but that's how I feel. I feel like as Americans, we should not be out here trying to fight over something and argue over something in America that we don't really understand, that we only have a percentage of understanding because some of us quit school when we were 16 and got GEDs and think that everything we know is right. And then the other side thinks, well, they are just all completely fascist, and that's not true. So people that are true Americans are not fascists. People that want to support people and help people out are not communists. So thank you. I appreciate that. Nerveplex. Thank you. But I think there's more people out there like me, honestly, that think like that and less like what's on there. You got a lot of people who get arguments on these YouTube pages and all over the internet and all over radio and television. In my opinion, it's just for clickbait, just to piss people off, just to get people mad at one another instead of doing what we're supposed to do, which is listen, read, study, and understand this conflict is between them and do what the United States always does, support our allies, but also ask for a quick resolution to this situation and support humanitarian aid to those in need. I know it's not a popular thing in America. Well, it won't help nobody, but that's what Jesus did. We just celebrated the resurrection yesterday, and Jesus went out helping everybody. So, but I understand where some people are coming from on their beliefs on that. But sometimes you got to learn that what would Jesus do is what I always say. He wouldn't be in this war, but I know that. All right, let's get right back to it. Some headline news before we take a break. We're going to talk about Chad DayBell later on this morning. The crazy cult guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Representative Tim Walberg stands by his beliefs Israel should nuke Gaza. Jerusalem's Christians compare Gaza's suffering to Jesus' crucifixion and Easter message. Wow. Journalist hands over Air Force One pillowcase. What? Because he took it. Remains of a missing 2-year-old boy found near a French Alps. Wow. Ooh. A missing 3-year-old was a subject in an Amber Alert over the weekend in Massachusetts. Thank goodness this child is doing well. How many would be scared if their child or children would be, some people, I don't care. I just don't care, man. If I don't buy sneakers and whatever, I don't care if you don't like it. Anyway, a missing 3-year-old was the subject of an Amber Alert over the weekend in Massachusetts. He's safe and sound. The suspect is in custody, charged with kidnapping Vladimiro of Springfield, Massachusetts. Is facing kidnapping charges because he took off in a vehicle that was in a driveway where a mother had started up the vehicle and put her child in it. I guess she was getting ready to go somewhere. Well, he took off he heard the car was on. He jumped the car in and took off. Of course, the police were able to locate him 2 hours later, and the child was safe, still in the car safety seat. I know the baby was probably crying, but an organization out there called Rides and Car Safety is asking for parents not to leave their children in a starting vehicle, not to leave their children in a starting vehicle. Why would you leave your child in a starting vehicle in the first place? I know, and I'm going to get them ready. I got this, or I got that, and blah, blah. Look, ask for help. Stop being this I can do everything person. When you got children that young and you got more than one sometimes, and you got things to do, you can't just start your car up so they'll stay warm out there, or if they'll stay there, you don't want them in the heat and everything. You need to have everything ready to go if you're going to do it by yourself, already in the vehicle before the kids even are put in the vehicle. That's what they're telling people to do, and we get a lot of people out here that don't, I got to go. I'm in a rush. I got to do this. I got to do that. I understand. Don't get me wrong. We're all in a rush. Friday, I was in a rush and forgot because I had so much going on. I forgot to bring my cord and everything to plug in my charging cord for my phone so that I could stay on the show all 3 hours. But I understand that we forget sometimes. But when it comes to kids, this is something. I'm glad this baby is safe. I'm glad this child was not scared. This child was probably scared of his wits. There's a strange person in the car with him and somebody getting away, taking off, it's a scary situation. And I think you need to think about it. Don't just start your car up even in your own driveway, because this is what this woman did. It was in her own driveway when she went back inside and come back out, and this guy took off with her vehicle. You never know who's walking through your neighborhood, You never know who's going to do what. Some strange fellow walking through your neighborhood, or same person walking through your neighborhood. Hey, but don't go out there and harass them and go, what you doing in my neighborhood? You don't look like you belong here. Nothing like that. I see some stupid, I see some dumb people do some dumb things. You don't belong to the neighborhood. Look, I had him ask me when I was walking up the street. I'm like, get the hell away from me, dummy. You're a classless hillbilly. No, I'm not. I got something. Yeah, because your mama gave it to you. Have to be secure even at home. Thank you, Warrior Defenders. But that's what I'm saying. It's a strange situation had by some. All right, time for us to take a break. We want to welcome Southern States Bank as a part of your banking needs and a part of the radio station family. They got locations in East Alabama, West Georgia, Anniston, Lineville, Auburn, in Georgia, Carrollton, and right here in Noonan. We welcome our friends at Southern States Bank as a part of 99.1 and the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Southern States Bank, personal checking, personal, learn more, even careers, 20 Oak Hill Boulevard here in Newton. All locations everywhere you need to be. Southern States Bank. Let's go and take that break. When we come back, we're going to go back to Israel at war, talk a little bit more of that, get you some updates on that, and we're going to head into the second half of this. Still to come, we're going to talk about Chad DayBell. You might know him with the wife that he had that was kind of a freak. They were the zombie-loving, crazy people. Murder child for him, the Doomsday Mom. You remember that? Yeah, the Doomsday Mom. Lori DayBell's husband. The cult mom who killed her kids. We'll tell you, the Idaho man has been tried for 3 deaths. We'll dive into that later on this morning as well. Back in a moment. Plus, let's go ahead and do this. I was going to say back in a moment, somebody go pick on me. That's all right. That's fine. I'm going to put you guys in the penalty box. Before that, I want to give you the question of the day, or the poll question of the morning, since we're going inside the coach's corner in the final period. Who will win the Final Four? Alabama's getting 55% of the votes. North Carolina State getting 27% of the votes. UConn got 9%. So does Purdue with 9%. UConn and Alabama this weekend. NC State and Purdue this weekend on Saturday in the Final Four. We'll talk more about that after this.
Time for your active forecast, sponsored by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Newton. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't give those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Michael the Group can exterminate and let this Smackdown for you. Today's April 1st, which means it's April Fool's Day. Watch out for those jokesters and pranksters out there. But what's not a joke is your weather forecast. Mostly cloudy today, behind near 80 with southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy below near 64, south-southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Heading into your Tuesday, cloudy, high near 82.
What's up, Jake?
15 miles per hour.
No, I don't have that music, that music yet to sing, but I'm going to do it one day. Don't worry, Jake. I'm going to do it for you one day. Just keep watching. I did not. I got that song up and you were not on, so I was like, Jake's not on. I'm not going to sing it to him until I know he comes back. But now I don't have the music up. The karaoke music.
Services plus specific services like vermin roach and flea control. Even if you can't see them, insects are all around you 24/7. Active Pest Control.
Sorry, brother.
Active Pest Control. Prepare, buy, best termite coverage around.
Let's see. You can go to our Facebook page, and then there's a couple links on there.
Services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.calvary.
I have to try. It should be in the. I think if you go to my description on this page, there'll be links to it. Yeah, that's it. That's right. I do. There's links to it on this description for my page. Oh, one of my favorite places, New Zealand. I got Sarah from New Zealand that listens to me. We call her Sarah Bear. I love you guys. She says you called Kiwi. She says. But in my description of this YouTube page, you can pick it up.
Classes and private seminars are available. Learn today to have a safer tomorrow. WarriorDefenders.com.
Ooh, I didn't know Jake was from the cool part of cool country, New Zealand. I got a lot of people there.
We help those who are struggling with their faith or have doubts through discussion, inspirational stories, and contemporary Christian music. So tune in to Let Go and Let God, Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. right here on WQEE.
freeze up. Sometimes it likes to freeze up. Well, at least I can pretend like to tell you that. There you go. No. Oh, yeah. Metallica. I think that's why I like New Zealand. You guys listen to good music. That's right. Jake from New Zealand is on with us this morning. Big Metallica fan. And you know what? I love New Zealand. We've got Sarah from New Zealand that listens every morning as well. Maybe they know each other somehow. I don't know. She's always says, AKA her nickname's Kiwi. They call us Kiwis. Anyway, New Zealand is beautiful, Warrior Defenders. You got that right. Got a lot of fantastic viewers on the YouTube page. Like, subscribe, and share. Go ahead and share it off there. 50,000 plus of you on the 50,000 plus of you on the Shoutcast there. We're on the RyanORadio media page. Across the, of course, our friends at the Navajo Nation on 25 different radio stations and internet out there on the Navajo Nation, and the Jordan Communication and Family Radio Station. So you can check out that on our YouTube feeds. There's in our description on the YouTube page. If you're on there, you can listen to us throughout the day. All right, let's jump into this. Ladies and germs, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's time for us to get a couple other headline news for you. 12:40 a.m. right now over here. Wow. I knew it was late there. So I get to be you guys' midnight show. Woo, that's cool. So when I do my paranormal investigator Greg TJ Justice on the show and do my Weird Wednesdays, it's perfect for you guys. If you're up at 3 in the morning. Ooh, wow. All right, let's do a couple of headline news right quick. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is of Israel underwent successful hernia surgery on Sunday night, his doctors said. Doctors at Jerusalem hospital said that the surgery went well. It was excellent. He's in good condition. He's awake, recovering, speaking with his family. Still saying I don't like Trump. I'm just kidding. Trumpsters don't get mad at me. I got to throw a joke in there. Don't get mad. It's going to make me mad. I pick on. And by the way, I pick on everybody. I mean, if I'm a Metallica fan, and we got Metallica fans listening, we pick on everybody. Tell them, metalheads. Anyway, Netanyahu underwent completely put to sleep, according to the deputy prime minister and minister of justice, assuming the prime minister's duties at the time. I assure you that I will get through this. He will get through this. I will get through this treatment, he said, successfully return to active duty very quick. So there you go. You never want anybody to have to go through any kind of surgery whatsoever, whether you like them or dislike them. Am I not telling the truth? Yeah. I got accused last week of being Canadian because I was too nice. I was like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take being called Canadian. But first of all, you don't know some Canadians like I do. When it comes down to their hockey, they'll lay the Smackdown on you. Alice says, that's right. I got Alice and Michael and David and Helen and that are listening right now in New Zealand. On the British Columbia Isles, listening to us in Canada. Mike says, yeah. Alice says, we'll welcome you as a member of Canada. Mike says, Dave says, because you tell it like it is, that's why you can be a Canadian. Thank you. Love them. Love everybody. Sweet Lee's like, wait a minute. You're one of us. You're on the Navajo Nation. Everybody wants me to be a part of their crew. I love it. Sue says, yes, you've always been a part of our tribe. Thank you. I appreciate that. Catholic leaders in the East Jerusalem in the occupied area of West Bank compared Gaza's suffering to the crucifixion of Jesus in the Easter message, as Protestant leaders also decreed Israel continuing their war in the Palestinian state. It continues to move forward. There was a message in the Holy Lands that was released on Saturday, while it was flanked by other church leaders in which expressing support for Gaza. Altogether, we express our best wishes for a happy Easter, so as much as possible as we pray for you, he says. We'll try to support you as much as we can. He put this in English, adding that the Palestinian Christians in Gaza, don't lose your faith, don't lose your hope, you are not alone. It is a test for those that are Christians that are in this situation and not understanding it. Because, like I said earlier, when I had one of my listeners ask me, like I said earlier, it's not a situation us in America. We need to support Israel because they're our allies, but we need to also support aid, humanitarian aid for those Palestinian people that are innocent among all this, because they are not the ones who know what is going on when it comes to Hamas and their terrorist thoughts and everything. So it's just one of those things. Good morning, Pete. I know your real name now, Pete. When I met everybody Friday, I was trying Pete this and Pete that. And everybody was going, Pete. I think that ain't not Holly's husband's name. It's Pete to me. Good morning, Pete. And good morning for the Navajo Nation, he says. He says, what? His name's not Pete. No, I'm not going to tell it because I was not I'm not going to give that information out, but I felt kind of embarrassed calling him Pete when everybody else was calling him by a different name. So he says, what is it? Everybody wants to know. Everybody's popping in from Canada to the Navajo Nation. They want to, I'm not telling it. He'll have to tell it if he wants it. Warrior Defender says, boyfriend, laugh out loud. First, I thought that's what I was like. Wait a minute, you got a husband and a boyfriend? My wife always says I am her husband and boyfriend, so you could do the same thing there. 15 minutes away from the top of the hour. A few more newsworthy notes when it comes to Israel war. Thousands of Israelites are protesting a demand for Netanyahu to be removed. That's one thing that's continuing to move forward there. Representative Tim Walberg stands by his belief that Israel should nuke Gaza. Safeguard myself by rules on the YouTube. That's fine, Pete. That's cool. I'm used to calling you Pete, so I'm not going to call you by what the other name they called you. My lovely bride has a different name online and different name too, so on the air. So I understand all this, but I just felt like everybody was looking at me like I was crazy because I was calling you Pete. Anyway, the Michigan representative released a statement standing by his beliefs that Israel should drop a nuclear bomb on Gaza, even as Israel faces charges of genocide. Walberg was asked during a hall meeting with his constituents about the administration of President Joe Biden's current building port off the coast of Gaza to deliver more humanitarian aid. And this is what he said on Friday. I don't care. We should care about any human beings, okay? We shouldn't be spending a dime on humanitarian aid. It should be like whatever. Get it over quick, man. Nuke them. Get rid of them like Hiroshima. Hiroshima, Bob. The lawmaker said building a port is Joe Biden's reason to get humanitarian aid to Gaza, which is fine, is what we should be doing. That is the right thing to do. We still stand behind Israel because they are our allies, but innocent people out there in the midst of all this war. He's just trying to push his agenda to the uneducated. I don't think and look, when I do this, guys, he's from Michigan, but when I do this is how I think of someone who just barely gets themselves a GED. Our participation certificate, as I call it. I don't think any of our aid that goes to support Israel. I support our greatest ally, which I support our greatest ally, Israel, as well. Arguably, maybe in the world to defeat Hamas, which Hamas is a terrorist group, and I agree with that. But he didn't say that. He just, Hamas, Iran, and Israel, and probably North Korea's in there and China too. Wait, I'm confused. He's against all of them, but some of the people are for Russia and North Korea. This is unclear. Seeming to fumble over his words, it was not immediately clear what Wahlberg was trying to say in reference to other nations. He thinks they're a part. I'm going to tell you what it is. I can tell you what it is. I think he thinks it's a part that they all working together, which, if that's what he feels, I'm not going to disagree with him on that. I don't do that to people, and I mean, at least he's standing up against communism as a whole instead of going, "Oh, I like that communist people because my hero does." So at least he's against North Korea and China and Russia for what they're doing, and I think he feels like they're all a part of it because Hamas is not a strong terrorist group without, and it's already been proven. We read this and said this when this thing started back in October 7th, back in December of this year, I think we talked about it. Or December of last year, I should say, that North Korea was sending weapons over to Hamas so Hamas could teach them how to be sneaky little you-know-whats. And all the poor Palestinian people out there, men, women, and children amongst all this that don't even have anything to do with any of this because, people have different beliefs, are the victims of it right now. I don't think bombing is a bright idea. I don't think that a bombing. Israel forces have killed 33,000 people in Gaza so far. For comparison, little boy claimed that lives of 140,000 people went to the United States to drop it on Hiroshima. Wow. I don't know who little boy is. I guess that's what they call him. The sooner Hamas and Russia surrender, the easier it will be to move forward. I agree with him. They should surrender. Especially Russia. Now, I'm not against Russia because we have some Russian listeners, but the thing between Ukraine and Russia should be shut down too. But like I said earlier, as the United States, we should step back. The only thing we should do is give humanitarian aid to all these people. We shouldn't get into this situation. We're not in the war, but we shouldn't be in the situation. All right, back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's going on with Israel war. Still to come, Chad DayBell, part of the Doomsday Moms cult. Well, actually, he's not a part of it. He's the one that kind of started it. He's been accused. Some things have happened. Thank goodness to him. He's taking his butt to jail where he deserves. 3 deaths. He's been charged with 3 deaths in a current sentencing. We'll talk about Chad DayBell, part of the Doomsday cult. We had him on the True Crime. This week, we had a full list of guests, guys, all week long. Thursday morning, True Crime Thursday. We're going to travel on True Crime Thursday with travel expert, blogger, tour guide, and YouTuber Sally Toole from Histories and Mysteries will be with us. Are also a Family Feud champion. Should be on Thursday in the third period. Wednesday, my friend Randy Rocket Cody from themetalden.com. We're giving you updates on what's going on in the Motley Crue camp and Mick Mars camp. Also, music news and the world of rock and roll and metal. And we're going to talk about the mysterious death of Sam Kinison. That's coming up on Wednesday morning's show and Weird Wednesday. Twisted Tuesday tomorrow morning. We'll talk about Godzilla and Kong, the new empire, taking the #1 spot. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. We'll see what our friend Shane B's thoughts on those movies are and what's hot and what's not tomorrow morning in movie reviews on Twisted Tuesday. And also today, we go inside the Coach's Corner in the final period with my good friend, the one, the only, Coach Tommy Lewis from the Landmark Christian War Eagles. We'll find out what's going on over there. Plus, we'll get his Final Four thoughts and UFL first weekend. Looked good this past weekend, UFL. I watched some of the games. Three USFL teams took spots over the XFL teams. Way to go, Birmingham Stallions. I hated it for the Arlington Renegades because we got some members of the Landmark Christian War Eagle family on those teams. But we'll talk about all that coming up in the final period. Stay with us.
Wishbone fried chicken is back in a great
Yeah, Pete. When I started calling you Pete, Holly was just smiling because she knew. And everybody else was calling you by your name. And I was sitting there going,
Monday through Saturday, 10:30
that's not his name.
Wishbone fried chicken right next door to the former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great.
I felt kind of silly, though, to tell you the truth. Like, that's my friend. What's wrong with you? I know him. Listen to me every morning. Trying to tell me that ain't his name.
Teaching life skills, resilience, gratitude, and kindness. We also bring music and art therapy. Please visit our website at www.familypatternsmatter.org.
Shopping for insurance doesn't have to be stressful. I'm Christy, owner of Ellsworth Insurance, located here in Newton, Georgia. An agency with access to multiple carriers for home, auto, life, health, and commercial insurance. We're your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurance.
I did. I wanted you to. I wanted you to be there too, Pete. I wanted to see you, meet you in person, brother. I didn't even have time. I had so much going on. I had to go in, run out. Holly, did you ever get that information over to Margie? Because it'd be great to get her to get started since she's going to be out seeing people.
Join us each Tuesday at 10 o'clock a.m. with guests who are sharing their faith.
Awesome.
Ministry.
Family fun is back in Monday.
Make sure you stay on top of her for it, because I think that people will buy radio advertising and what she's doing, sign work and stuff like that. I think they'll do both. Get a good package deal, split it in half. Half here, half there. Oh, let me go ahead and get this done. Woo! Well, I knew you were going to do that. Yes, Warrior Defender submitted her novel of the weekend. She's going to be rich and famous and forget all about the rest of us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. California's moving. California fast food workers are getting $20 per hour starting today. This is why it's never going to go back down to those cheap gas prices, and your food price is going to go back down. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Back in 2017, I told every one of you that the economy was going to start going up by this year, 2024, 2025. If you hadn't been listening to me back then, I don't know where the hell you were. You were probably watching Fox News or CNN News, who was just getting you into a, battle over politics. But I was telling you, hey, the economy's going to go up. And I was telling you this, and you were going, no, I don't want to hear that, Ryan. It's not going to happen. People don't deserve to be paid. It's not just kids anymore working in these places for part-time wages to take a little bit of money and try to get that nice car they want to run around and impress their friends with. Many fast food workers in California received a pay raise on Monday as the new minimum wage of $20 per hour went in effect, the highest in the state's minimum wage in the country. Hopefully the rest of the country is going to start following for most everybody. The new standard will give 25% boost to those in the fast food sector, usually the lowest paid workers in the country and whose salaries have not grown in decades. Some restaurant chains have responded by laying off people, like Pizza Hut's laying people off. Of course, everything's going to be AI, including, thank God, I won't have to worry about these people calling me these call sitters anymore. Woo! I can just get over there and get my phone, and I don't have to talk to somebody trying to call me into getting something extra. Woo! Anyway, Pizza Hut franchise said in December that it laid off its delivery drivers in favor of using apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash, which you pay more, don't you, than you do if they bring you a pizza. Other companies say they have increased the prices from 5 to 10% and reduced worker hours in a way to pay for it. So even though they get paid $20 an hour, they're still going to get less hours. But we're gonna call people lazy because they won't work. What? The minimum wage increase may not end there. The law that set the new mark also created a new fast food council, which will have the power to increase minimum wage up to 3.5% each year through 2029, which I told you this years ago, and to keep up with consumer price index. I told you this already, but people don't want to listen. You know why? Because all they were worried about was what was going on back then. You don't like this guy or you like this guy. Damn, Ryan, you just know so much. I just pay attention to everything. I actually went to finish high school and went to college and learned some things. I learned public speaking classes. We had them in high school. I learned government history. We had that in high school. I learned the economics. We had that in high school also. Not just in college, but in high school. Why do you think I made A's in college and all that stuff? I was not smart. It's just I was taught that in high school. You went to one of them schools in Alabama, boy. Yeah, see, they even know how to teach things. Back in a moment. I'm not worried if everything goes up because I don't get that many hamburgers at a time. Meat prices raise as herds shrink, cost to feed. Hey, you can get a good piece of steak at Dollar Tree. Or if you want just fat, you can go to Waffle House. I can't believe people going after that guy.
Baltimore Mayor Brendan Scott was asked about critics who blame the tragedy on diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Scott said the attacks are rooted in racism and
one week from today, everybody's in trouble, because there's a eclipse.
California's new $20 an hour minimum wage for fast food workers starts today. RyanShelander has details.
Oh, Lord.
Democrats in the state legislature passed the law last year saying more than 500,000 workers are not teenagers earning some spending money. The law was supported by the trade association representing fast food franchise owners. I'm RyanShelander.
Beyonce's new album, Cowboy Carter's major hit following its highly anticipated release. Beyonce released the album Friday and by Saturday was already Spotify's most streamed album of 2024. Cowboy Carter was streamed over 76 million times on Spotify.
Run the Sky is Falling. I know, right?
Female artist ever. You're listening to the latest from
You got one more week. I seen a couple people say, "We'll see." I'm like, well, if we'll see, then that means you're not. That means you're still here. And according to Bible prophecy, when Jesus comes back, you're part of the problem. Why they want to sit there and see? I don't understand.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet.
They scared, man. I'm not scared.
Thankfully, there's Home Advisor. Home Advisor helps me run.
When you're a true believer, you're not scared. And if you're still here, you'll be like, well, I must have did something because God didn't take me yet. So I must have did something. I got to figure out what it is.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com.
That's how we should be. Not, it's everybody else's fault. Ooh, get into some sports.
Family Fun is back in Lynette. Primetime Carnival and Joy Communications presents the Lynette Spring Carnival, April 2nd through the 7th. Rides, fun, food, games, more. Open nightly 6 p.m. 2 p.m. for weekends. Lynette Spring Carnival, Highway 29, Old Neal parking lot in Lynette, Alabama. April 2nd through the 7th. Family fun for you and me. Be there.
And Carl here from Cowley Force.
Begins tomorrow.
Addiction Recovery Support Center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services.
Remember what today is.
Information is available on our website at www.cowleyforce.org or follow us on Facebook.
Fishbowl Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Same great taste. The best chicken around. Fish dinners, open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken, right next door to the former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A, here in Newton.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rod Peterson here, host of the Rod Peterson Show, inviting you to join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE. I say fun because it is. You've never heard a show like it because we make the listeners a part of the show.
Just remember what today is, everybody. It's April 1st is all I'm going to say. Baptism day for you. Woohoo! April Fools? I'm just kidding. What is tomorrow? The day everyone wins $1 million? April Fools.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele. All right, we're going to do it once more. This time, no mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, 34 years ago. Cool.
It's great to stay right. Good morning. Good morning to you. When the band began to play, the skies were shining bright.
Pete, I heard that she was robbing the cradle, by the way. 34 years ago, Pete would only been like just born or young, wouldn't he? We are still going, ladies and gentlemen. It's period number 2. What you guys doing this morning? Coming up this hour, we got some headline news for you. We'll talk about Chad DayBell, the Doomsday Man, Doomsday Cult. Plus, meat prices keep rising. And, well, a little sports news and everything in between. Let's do it! Who am I? I'm RyanORadio Penitentiary, your host of the most, one and only Ryan O'Neal, and yeah, I am the game. Get a little tongue-tied on this twisted Monday. It's Major News Monday. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast Saturday Out Loud. Across the RyanORadio media page, Earth Rock Radio, and across the Navajo Nation, Arizona, and New Mexico. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada. We're also across the Georgia Communication and Family Radio stations, East Alabama, West Georgia included, right here at 99.1 FM, WQEE the Key, home of Southern sports, inspirational talk, and more. We are the talk of Atlanta because we're the only ones anybody's talking about and talking to. To our haters, we got a lot of things to say to you. But first, listen up, haters, to this. Listen up. I am the man around here. You pieces, I'm still 25. I'm 25 still holding. That's what my wife always tells me. I turn 25 every year. I don't know why. All right, it's April 1st, ladies and gentlemen. Be on the lookout of all those pranksters out there. Be on the lookout for it. Coming up this hour, we'll talk about Chad DayBell, the murder trial of him, meat prices on the rise, and of course, we'll get you a little WWE Smackdown update. Is this WrestleMania week? I'm going to be excited about WrestleMania week. Tomorrow night, Dark Side of the Ring, another episode on Vice. I'm going to be talking about that on Friday. We got great guests all week long. Nothing but guests Monday through Thursday this weekend, and Friday is our WrestleMania wrap-up. That's right, WrestleMania wrap-up. The first week of the month, yeah, always. And, of course, we'll tell you our guest starting on Thursday, True Crime Thursday travel expert. We're going to travel the states in Alabama, Georgia, Florida with our travel expert, our tour guide, our author, our History and Mysteries host, Sally Toole, will be with us on Thursday. And we'll have another historic area we're going to talk about and everything. On Wednesday, we're going to get weird with our friend Randy Rocket Cody as he gets us some much needed metal news, and Motley Crue and Mick Mars continuing to have their drama between the two camps. And finally, we'll talk about the Sam Kinison, the late great Sam Kinison, who yelled, who was on the Bundys, as well as who Married with Children and many other movies, who was one of the most famous comedians in the 80s and 90s. His murder conspiracy. We're going to dive into that on Wednesday morning, Weird Wednesday. Tomorrow morning, Shane B and I are going to talk a little bit of movies. We'll see what's hot, what's not. The number one movie is, of course, Godzilla and Kong, the new empire, knocking down Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. We'll see which movie he had an opportunity to check out. He was going to check out Ghostbusters Frozen Empire last week. We'll get into that. Plus, talk about the number one, what's hot, what's not, as we get closer to May next month with May Day and bringing back a Star Wars movie. All that good stuff coming up for you tomorrow morning. And in the final period this morning, we go inside the coach's corner with our favorite head football coach, the one, the only, my good friend, Tommy Lewis. He is the head football coach for Landmark Christian War Eagles. We'll talk a little War Eagle sports, plus UFL football action the first weekend. Looked good. I watched some of the games. Go Stallions. And, of course, not only that, the Final Four, which is our burning question this morning. Who will win the Final Four? 47% of you believe the Alabama Crimson Tide. 20% of you believe NC State. 20% are calling for UConn, so UConn would have to beat Alabama to move forward. And 13% of you are saying Purdue. This coming up weekend, Alabama, UConn, NC State, and Purdue in the Final Four. And, of course, that's going to be a hard one to choose right there. And I'm going to ask Coach Lewis that this morning as well. All right. It's 12 minutes past the hour. Time for us to do our daily devotion, sponsored by our friends at Noonan City Church, 17 First Avenue, here in the metro Atlanta area of Noonan. Best movie of all time, haven't been made yet, Holly's Novel. That's right. Guys, when y'all make that movie, remember that your cousin, the radio personality Ryan O'Neal is your cousin now. I'm your distant cousin now. I can either be Holly's or yours, Pete. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. Anyway, let's take a look at today's daily devotion. Delightful Jesus. That's what we're going to talk about. Jesus Listens from our daily devotion prayer book from Sarah Young. Brought to you by Noonan City Church, 17 First Avenue here in the metro Atlanta area of Noonan. Every Sunday morning, 8 a.m. services, 9:30 services, 8:30 service. Let's do it again. 8 a.m. services, 9 a.m. services, 10:30 services, and 6:30 p.m. services. This coming up Sunday, Pastor Jimmy Ellison and staff invite you out. Transform your life for Jesus' sake. 1 Thessalonians 5, 16 through 17, Deuteronomy 31, 8, and Psalms 119, 11 through 12. The life of Jesus helped me live in joy, depending just on you. I used to view dependence as weakness so that I'd strive to do self-service, to be as self-service as possible. But I know that this is not your way for me. He designed me to need you on a daily basis and even enjoy in you when I'm needing you. I want to live in harmony with your intentions for trusting trusting in your way. And believe me, I know he takes care of me. I'm like this little kid. Believe me, this is not a fake thing for those out there that I mean, lizard people are not real, but God is. Praying continuously in a way to just demonstrate my deliberate dependence on you. Another powerful way of relying on you is studying your word, asking you to transform me the way you will. And he will. As I delight myself in you more and more and more, you are glorified and I am blessed. In Jesus' name, amen. That's a good one this morning. I'm feeling good about that this morning. I'm feeling good. It's taking me to the next feelings and everything. Well, next Monday, we will be diving into the solar eclipse that's going to be making its way through some towns, not every town named out of the Bible. You got conspiracy nut theories out there, theorists saying, and I'm going to tell you how I see them in just a minute. You got conspiracy theorists out there running their mouths, getting millions and millions of followers and likes. And people going, these people telling the truth, I don't want to hear it. It's like going to church and hearing your preacher tell you that you're a sinner as well as the person next to you is a sinner. And I'm not listening to that. I want a preacher to tell me that I'm not a sinner and that everybody else that don't agree with me is sinners. That's the mindset of some people. And when to me, I know this is going to piss off conspiracy nuts, but this is the way I see them. I see them like this. You know, there's that out there. They're not bright. Everything I say come true. Nothing you said has come true. No, it hasn't. And don't try to compare yourself. People who used to come up with ideas back in the day with Bigfoot and UFOs and different things like that. Those are not conspiracy theorists. Those were people that were coming up with ideas and trying to present them and saying, look, this is how I feel about this. Those were not conspiracy theorists. Conspiracy theorists tell you that the government's going to come take you out. Hey, by the way, I played Civil War movie theater at the top of the hour. It was at the top of last hour. It was awesome. I can't wait for that movie to come out on April 12th. And we will be talking about that a little bit more. But still, just to let you guys know, that's how I feel about it. There's no conspiracy theory on this Easter Monday. And it's also April 1st. So, I'm not going to say anything, but you guys should know what April 1st means. I think I do, right? And Holly said that a few years ago, and I'm not going to say how many, that she was baptized. That's awesome. All right, thousands in Tel Aviv call for elections, we told you. Hostage deals, water coming down on people, massive protests, and so much more. Check out all the headlines on our WQEE Facebook page. Missing 3-year-old that was subject to an Amber Alert on Friday in Massachusetts has been found safe, and the suspect is now behind bars in custody and charged with kidnapping. Vladimir Vlabora is a Springfield, Massachusetts man who's facing kidnapping charges, motor vehicle charges. He came upon a vehicle that was running Friday morning and drove off, stole the vehicle with a 3-year-old in it. He was located about 2 hours later. Rides and Car Safety Organization said they are against you just going out and starting your car up and leaving your child in it. And I agree with them 110%. We need to learn to, let's just be honest. We need to learn to do what's right. Understand, being busy, because I'm a human, we're all humans. But when it comes to these little babies out here, don't put them in your car and start your car up. It's not always safe in your own driveway. I know we're in the South. I know our mindset is, I got a 20 gauge, don't come up on my lawn. Okay, I understand that. I live in the South. But This was in Massachusetts. But still, it's not a good idea to leave your child or children in the car if they're under a certain age. I understand you don't want them to, if it's cold, you want the heat going. I understand if it's warm outside and hot, you want the air going, but you need to get everything done or ask someone to help you. And ladies, if you're a single mom or if you're even your husband's working all the time, it is not taken away from your independence, ladies. And because I'm all for independent women, believe me, boom, I'm for, but it's not taken away from your independence asking someone for help. Gentlemen, same way. We're badasses. We'll cut our fingers off and go, it's all right, man. I'll just tape it up with some duct tape. It'll be fine. It's all right to ask for help, ladies and gentlemen. My Generation Xers, I know we were 2 words, suck it. I know what we're independent, wearing our Def Leppard shirts and Metallica. I understand. We're independent. We're hardcore. Some of you were listening to Snoop and sharing little things. I see, but it's a good thing to ask for help. So I'm asking people out there to prevent things like this because children are really the future. There was a song about it. But I don't know if Michael Jackson wrote a song because he was into something else. I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, in reality, you need to take care of them the best you can. I understand busyness and them acting up and everything. But kids they're going to act up. It's just the way kids are. Make sure safety first is all I'm asking. All right, convicted Rush, the movie defendant, is denied a retrial. Release is pending, a sentence on the way. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, also, we're going to talk about this. It's about 21 minutes past the hour. We're holding at 62 degrees, your time and temperature this hour. Brought to you by our friends at Southern States Bank, 20 Oak Hill Boulevard here in Noonan. Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come on in. Drive through 8 to 5. Drive through 8:30 to 4. Come on in. It is 20 Oak Hill Boulevard in East Alabama and West Georgia. Location, Southern States Bank. Personal banking, making banking easy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a couple other newsworthy notes. We're going to dive into the sports. And right after the break, we're going to talk about the DayBells, the crazy DayBells that we've been talking about for a long, long time. That's coming up in just a few moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to look at your weather forecast brought to you by Active Pest Control right after this break. But if the computer don't act right, we're going to go ahead and throw it out. Meat prices are on the rise. Steak prices, because we got less beef anymore. Does that mean we're going to have to all become vegetarians? I like some vegetarian stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'll mix and match every week, But hey, the price of beef is up. The results of Americans urged to consume hamburger, steaks, and hot dogs, among other food items, and a reduction in U.S. supply, and the prices keep on rising. They keep on rising. But if we had somebody else in there, it wouldn't. No, it's going to still rise. Okay? This is a problem that nobody can handle. All right? Only God can handle it. But I treat him like a God. He's on my Bible. What he made. The U.S. Department of Agriculture reported earlier this month that the cattle prices have been on a rise and getting higher and higher and higher, despite the country's importing 1.2 billion pounds of beef from international sources. They still got to make their money. A dog in a car. That's right. Sorry about that. We can eat rabbit. Hey, Pete, you know how to hunt, bro. That's the difference. None of my hunters out there are crying about that. They're like, what are you talking about? Meat prices. You weak little humans. Let me show you how to do something. These things are called a gun. Okay? You can use them to go out and get food. All my hunters are just laughing at everybody right now. They really are. All my hunters out there are just laughing at us. They're going, they said meat prices are high. The USDA predicted beef exports are expected to be down by 8.3% a year over year due to tightening cattle supplies, ladies and gentlemen. In the United States, and tough for global competition, such beef exports all the way down to our friends in Australia and everything. But we do want our farmers, who I support 120%. You may not support them, but I do. If you don't, you're a jabroni. I do want them to continue to be able to work, and yes, they deserve that. They need to, if they ask for higher prices, I want them to. There you go. I haven't seen a rise in steak too much. I mean, you can get a decent steak at some of these grocery stores for a decent price. And some of the lower end cost effective grocery stores, their foods, you can go in there and spend $60 and walk out with all the name brand stuff that you go, well, I'm not going in there because I only want to go to places that have names. Yeah, okay. I'm getting name. I got name brand stuff in my home. I got name brand. I drink Coke. Everybody like, how do you? I got 4 family members like, why are you drinking Coke? I'm like, because I can get them cheap from the cost effective grocery store. What's wrong with you? I go for deals. That's just me. But anyway, like Pete said, you could do rabbit. I'm sitting here saying that my hunters are laughing at us. Okay. They're sitting out here laughing at us that they're going to work there. They're probably sitting there in their truck going, these people, did you hear that, Jill? Yeah, I heard that, John. These people are worried about something, but what is it? Beef prices going up. Hey, you know that deer I got this past weekend? Oh my God, man. I cooked some up in the stew over the weekend, man. I still got some in the freezer. Yeah, man, I got a rabbit and a couple other things. They're laughing at us right now. So that weird uncle with the glass eye that goes hunting, you might want to go out there and hang out with him. Just stay in his view, not in front of his view. Don't go to where his glass eye is. Go to the other side so he can see you. But you might want to go out there and learn. And several people are growing their own foods, by the way. Yeah. Thank you for blowing on the horn there. Hey, there's a hunter for me this morning. That's why he's blowing. They know I'm telling the truth. They know they're laughing at everybody. That's why Pete brought it up in the chat. We can eat rabbit. It's like, come on now, really? You guys worried about all that? And then also, I think ostrich or some kind of type of ostrich, if you cook it the right way, it tastes like a steak or something. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Start venturing out there. And like I said, go get that uncle that's got the glass eye that hunts. He'll take you out there right now. You'll be set for the summer and the winter. Like, all right, son, I'm going to show you how to have food 12 months out of the year. How to have meat 12 months out of the year. All right, we're going to take a break. Back in a moment on the RyanORadio Penitentiary. You guys are in lockdown. Give me a fish, hell, for a day. Give a man a fish for a day. Teach a man to fish, and they can feed himself. Then he can feed himself. That's right. That's something else, man. Fishing, dude. Look, I got some family members that hunts. Hell, they don't like this grocery store. I'm just telling you this right now. I mean, every once in a while they go there because they want to get a Hershey bars or something. Get him some colas. But 9 times out of 10, it's like I got my meat. I grow my own veggies. I go fishing every once in. And then look, let me tell you what. I'm gonna tell you something right now. People that hunt, they're the ones that's buying all those expensive steaks in the grocery store because they've saved money on everything else. How can that guy be buying that? You look at him, he's like, he's all got camouflage on. It's like that fella right there. He can afford to buy it because he grows everything else and hunts everything else. Back in a moment. That's why he can get eggs and steak. Chinese, Japanese, look at these dirty knees.
Watch out for those jokesters and pranksters out there. But what's not a joke is your weather forecast mostly cloudy today with a high near 80 with southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy with a low near 64. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Heading into your Tuesday, cloudy, high near 82. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thunder showers likely on Tuesday night. 100% chance of rain coming in. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Low near 57. Rain continues into Wednesday morning with sunshine. Later on with some clouds. High near 60. Northwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. And Wednesday night, cloudy skies. Low near 42.
Neither. Don't like either. Don't hate nobody, but don't like either's policies. I got to try to stay down the middle. Broadcaster. Sorry, Jake. I don't care anybody who picks either side, but I'm going to pick on both of them. Anybody's been listening and watching me a long time, so I'm going to pick on everybody. And really, I'll be honest with you, I'm not picking not because I don't want to get into an argument with nobody. I'm just not picking because I really don't care. And I was brought up in broadcasting that you have to keep it down the middle. So that's really the truth. So. Yeah, actually, I have. I played out in Vegas in bands, played drums. I played with Green Jelly. I know Bill Manspeaker pretty personally. Met a lot of 80s glam rocker bands. Know a lot of those guys personally. I know the guys in the King of Thrash, which is Dave Ellison's band since he left Megadeth, with Jeff, one of the original guitar players. Jeff's a pretty cool cat. A lot of metal guys and punk guys. The guys in Blackberry Smoke. So, yeah. Big time celebrities. I'm not saying those are not big time celebrities. I don't want them to get mad. But gigantic big time celebrities, nah, I've never got into that. I saw them in streets and stuff. DJ Asbury from Guns N' Roses and 6 a.m. I played with a band and we opened up. I was playing with a Christian band and we played with Blood Good. The band was originally started by Michael Bloodgood, who passed away. and Les Carlton, and then one of the original guitar players was Striper's guitar player. So I met all, yeah, so.
And I did. And I put it on my little personal video page, my own little page. I had about 500 people on it, most of the church folks. And that thing went viral in 2 weeks.
A lot of good people out there. More good people than people think. The celebrity world's just like the real world. Got some good, got some bad. It's like the facts of life.
To find out more about Cooking with Brenda Gann, follow Cooking with Brenda Gann on Facebook.
Which guitar player in Guns N' Roses?
Be sure to follow the Mark Marshall
Because there's been a million of them, Pete.
subscribe to the Mark Marshall podcast wherever you get your podcasts. This is Mark.
Actually, when he fired Slash and Izzy Stradlin and all them, they brought in DJ, they brought in Buckethead, they brought in so many other people. Richard, who's currently in there now, I think, their rhythm player. Oh, wow. Can you believe it? I got more theme music coming out of my Wahoo. 35 minutes past the hour. Current conditions is 62 degrees, cloudy skies out there. This time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Noonan. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Michael and the crew can exterminate and lay the smackdown for you. We got a lot of stuff coming up for you, ladies and germs. Some sports news going into the next hour. We'll into a little WrestleMania week news for you at the end of this hour. We got our poll question up. I'm asking them right now. Who's going to win the Final Four? Will it be Alabama, which is getting 50% of the vote? North Carolina State, NC State, 19% of the vote. UConn, 19% of the vote. And Purdue, 12% of the vote. Purdue will be taking on NC State this weekend and Alabama and UConn in the Final Four. So I got that question going inside the Coach's Corner next hour with Coach Tommy Lewis. One more noteworthy note here before we head into our hot topic of the Monday. North Korea pulls out of the World Cup qualifiers, World Cup soccer qualifiers against Japan. And I'm going to give you a couple little newsworthy notes on what's going on in the world of sports in just a few moments. I've met quite a few celebrities and all of our other people just like us. I love that you have met quite a few celebrities. Yep. They treat me like I'm one of them too. The Les Carlton, the lead singer of Bloodgood, we were doing a show with him. I was playing with a Christian band in California, went into the green room, and they started picking and says, "We don't let hippies in here." And that was nothing but a bunch of long hair guys. Yes, they treated me on the same level as him. It was great. Anyway, I was back in there in my younger days, 6 years ago. Now I'm an old fogey. All right, let's jump into it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about this one here. We'll get you updates on college and so much more and a little wrestling. But Chad Daybell, the husband of Lori Ballard, a.k.a. Lori Daybell, a.k.a. Doomsday Mom, is set to go on trial in Idaho in the murders of his wife's two children nearly a year after she was convicted of the same crime in the so-called Doomsday Plot. His triple murder trial is scheduled to start today with a jury selection. It's expected to last around 9 weeks. The Daybells were charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit murder, and 2019 in the deaths of Joshua J.J. Ballard, 7, and Tylee Ryan, 16. Their remains were found on his property belonging, of course, in June of 2020, where Chad Daybell told his wife at the time that he was burying some wild animals or something. He come up with this doomsday thing that he mixed in Judgment Day with zombiness and kind of like so many conspiracy nut clickbait theorists online coming up with imaginary conspiracy theories. I do too, Warrior Defenders. Anyway, the complaint against DayBell 55 did endorse and expose his religious beliefs for the purpose of encouraging or justifying the homicides of the children. He got her to believe, he got Lori to believe, and they believed that you were a zombie and you were no longer who you were, and that your soul had came out and you were evil or something, and you had to be killed off. They were both charged with conspiracy to commit murder in the death of Chad DayBell's former wife, Tamara, as well, who died October 19th, 2019, less than a month before the two got married in Hawaii. Well, you know, he was just grieving so much that this Lori, she made him feel good. This is me making fun of him, by the way. DayBell was charged with his wife. It ain't his former wife because she was dead. With his wife's murder and with 2 counts of insurance fraud related to the life insurance policy that he had on her, for which he was a beneficiary. DayBell pleaded not guilty to his charges. He faces a death sentence if convicted of murder. At this point, we're ready to go forward, and he wants to tell his story. He said, DayBell's attorney, John Pryor, it's not his fault that she was crazy and she followed his conspiracy nut theories. It's never anyone's fault when they tell you lies and cause you to do destruction or kill some people. It's just your fault for doing it. It's not their fault. Look, if you do something in the name of somebody, it's your fault and their fault. If you do it and you have a leader that you are infatuated with and you do it in their name, it's their fault, ladies and gentlemen. You can't defend them. There's people probably like Chad DayBell out there. Okay, there's probably, even though you and I, and yeah, this news story is heartbreaking. Word to finish. Chad Kroger, I like him. I like Nickelback. I don't care what nobody says, Jake. What? The point is, there's people out there probably like him and think he was good and he was trying to be a leader, and his books meant there's people who read his books that didn't go out and do crazy things. People have weird conspiracy theories. Some, like RFK Jr., have these weird conspiracy theories, but he's not going to damage people with them. And some people have these weird conspiracy theories, and they turn into a Chad DayBell. They turn into a Jim Jones. They turn into somebody like that. What's up, Gail? From the Zoo Cruise on with us. Sweet Leaf says, about time you came on, Gail. Sue says, what's up, girl? Alice says, good morning from Canada. Tim says, hello. Bob says, what's up? Rodney K says, you better not forget us. List everybody's name, he said. What you going to do? Try to find it? And yes. Okay, he's going to try to find it. Anyway, back to this question. That's what I'm saying. There's people probably defend him. He's I've had 3 years and 10 months to go through all the evidence to sort of look at what I want to present to the jury, and I'm looking forward to my opportunity to do so, says Pryor. If it is unclear if Lori will testify at DayBell's trial, Chad neither testified it in her trial, and her lawyers rested their case without even calling any witnesses. I've been sharing this show. Hello, everyone. She's been sharing the show, and she said, hello, everyone. That covers all of you. Rodney K said, I want you to say my name. Tim says, me too. Don't worry about it, Gail. Don't say it. That's off the Navajo Nation. DayBell's case will be presided over by the same judge that Lori's case was as well, Judge Stephen Boyce. Boyce sentenced Lori to life in prison without parole for the murders of her 2 children. The judge has granted a defense motion to dismiss the death penalty in her case right before her trial. I wish they'd go ahead and put her. A mother killing her children is the most unimaginable type of murder. It is. That's what he said. We've been keeping up with this things. Now, Lori did, who's 50, she denied murdering her children, saying in court at her sentence, Jesus Christ knows the truth of what happened here. No one was murdered in this case. Accidental deaths happen. Suicides happen. Fatal side effects from medication happens. I didn't kill nobody. Yeah, you dumb bimbo. Yes, you did. Jesus Christ is like, look, don't bring my name up. This is what Jesus is saying. Jesus is about tired of all of us bringing his name up every time we do something. You know, Jesus is all right with this politician. But he's like, look, I don't even know that guy. What you talking about? He don't know me. He don't know my father. She's sitting there going, Jesus knows the truth. Jesus is like, yeah, I do know the truth. You killed your children. Uh-oh, Rodney. Rodney, Bob, Sue, and Sweetleaf. There you go. Tim says you forgot Tim there. Tim says, I've always forgotten. They're like, yay! Rodney says, yay, she said my name. Yay, you make my name. They're just kissing up to one of the originals is what it is. Rodney's case is, how did you know? Well, her attorney filed a notice of appeal in the court last year. I want to know. I just want to know. I just want to know how in the worldwide, what, anybody would just use Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. This is Easter Monday for trying to compare themselves to all of their weird conspiracy nut clickbait theories and try to next Monday. I'm going to talk about it next Monday. And it's the solar eclipse that's not going to affect. I mean, look, here's the thing. God is not, Jesus is not going to come. People going, we'll have to wait and see. Well, then you're still here. You must be in the wrong. Remember, in the Bible, in the prophecy says that he's going to take people. And then he's going to come back and get ready to. What happened to the Baltimore Bridge? It was an accident. Was no conspiracy theory. Somebody crashed into it because I believe the guy was drunk. That was a little intoxicated. And plus it was too high. Like Gail said, too much stuff on it, and it crashed into it. But no conspiracy theories. All these people just try to make money off of people by doing it on the internet. The reality of it is, if we're going to believe this conspiracy theory that it's the Democrats and the Republicans and they hate one another, then we need to believe that Lori DayBell killed her children because they were no longer her children, huh? What sense does that make? We completely going to look at conspiracy theories as truth, then we need to look at every one of them as truth. And every one of them are crazy. Like I said earlier, this is a conspiracy theorist to me. They're not proven true. Everything I can't be proven true. Chad put the kids' bodies in a fire pit. Yes, exactly, Gail. But no. It was an accident that they were in there, according to Lori DayBell. Yeah, Jesus is about tired of everybody using him as a scapegoat. Well, Jesus said it's all right for me to go and kill somebody because I was mad at him. Jesus be like, no, man, thou shalt not kill. No. As long as I'm covered by the blood of Jesus Christ, I can do it. That's what these people are saying. I'm glad. And look, Chad DayBell has not really come out and did any kind of weird things. He's going to come out and say, well, he was doing this, this, and this. You wait and see. His trial is going to be a less conspiracy theory and more on the regular stuff. And people on the fringe of things are kind of crazy. They're not coming up with original ideas. People that think that way, there's something wrong with people like this. This is the fringe of things. This guy was on the fringe of things. This guy, Chad DayBell, was trying to make money. He was kind of a Mormon. He was trying to make money without having to work. He was writing books. Hey, Tim, sorry to forget you. There you go, Tim. He was writing books, trying to make a living. He was coming up with conspiracy theories. He was mixing in The Walking Dead with some Judgment Day stuff, making it his own thing into an entertainment book so he could get a following. And he got a following of clickbaiters. He did a clickbait thing. It's easier to lie than to tell the truth because people fall in for lies. You know, they say it in the Bible, rumors of wars and wars, you know. So the reality of it is, I've been in this business long enough to know that these people are using clickbait and public speaking and stuff that we were taught in classes in college to incorporate their mindset. And look, he's not going to come out this crazy thing. I believe she went crazy, but that doesn't mean she should be taken off. She should be let off. I don't think she should be let off. I think she should be sentenced to death. She had her children killed for an imaginary conspiracy theory and clickbait. It's the same thing as some of these QAnon people, like the QAnon nut guy out in California that took his 10-month-old and his 2-year-old to California, killed them because he said they had reptile blood in them. And he was trying to save the world. If you can't handle something, then you don't need to be reading it. That's what irritates me about. And everybody keeps on acting like, well, the future of the media is all the YouTubes and the podcasts. No, it won't be. It won't be. I mean, the future is going to be the FCC coming and going, you can't be telling lies like they do with us. Like, but what about CNN and Fox? They're entertainment. Under their contract with the FCC, they're considered entertainment. Every news source out there is considered entertainment. What's considered news is NBC News, ABC News, CBS News, the 30-minute news you get at night. If you notice, there's no let's talk conspiracy theories on there. They do interviews with people who give their opinions, but they don't give their opinions. That's because it's under news. Freedom of the press is freedom of the press to do news stories, not freedom of the press to make up lies. And so many of these people make up lies. And that's why I got more listeners right now, even with only a few people on the YouTube, than OAN News and Newsmax put together. You cannot throw conspiracy theories out there and call it news. And then somebody's conspiracy nut that's been into weird stuff for years because they're sitting in their mom's basement or even in their basement on the dark web, seeing a bunch of lies. Where do you think we're getting all these Nazi people from? There's that crap's on there. Where do you think you're getting all this stuff from? It's not news. This is where this woman was. This is a perfect example of the doomsday cult is the perfect example of people taking one thing and mixing something into it. And you know, you can't mix God's word and Jesus Christ in any worldly thing. Unfortunately, for most of you out there, you just can't do that. You can't sit there and go, I'm going to say that I believe in this monster, this make-believe monster. I'm just going to say make-believe monster because I'm tired of saying lizard people. Make-believe monster with a one-eyed monster is going to come and get you if you don't follow Jesus Christ. Well, that one-eyed monster is the devil, but hey. But still, that's the point of what I'm making on this situation. I believe when you start seeing the next 9 weeks of his case, you won't see as much. It's going to come out going that he was this man and he was this family man and he fell for this woman. He's going to blame her, but he's going to say, look, I only did it because she wanted to do it. She fell for this process. And no, I don't, because Chad DayBell has not come out and said that he believed in these conspiracy theories that he was presenting. And this should be an example to everybody out there, clickbait people making up things just to make money. Should be the big example of it. That's what I'm talking about. Tell me when I'm telling lies. You can't. Straight edge, independent skeptic telling it like it is, whether people like it or not. Some people just can't handle the truth, as they say, as in that movie. Just like the Civil War movie is not a prequel to what's going to happen in real life. And a week from today, just because the sun's going to be behind the moon doesn't mean the end of times. That's not how it's read in the book, good book. That's our major news Monday. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on in the trial of Chad DayBell. Coming up after the break, we'll get a little wrestling wrap up as this WrestleMania week and head into the final period inside the coach's corner.
Get that feeling somebody's coming up on you. What do you do to be prepared in today's world? Hi, I'm Holly Reese. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical self-defense instructor, I'm specializing in women's self-defense. All women of all ages have the ability to learn how to defend themselves effectively with technical drills to build their survival skills. You can be your own hero. Classes and private seminars are available. Learn today to have a safer tomorrow. WarriorDefenders.com.
Hank Arnold here from Cowboy to Force. Cowboy to Force is Newland's own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services.
Tim said,
individuals
"Whoa, thank you for saying my name."
addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowboytoforce.org or follow us on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Pina Payne with Contour Mortgage, and we're so excited. We have just moved to this new company, and we are located at 560 Noonan Crossing Bypass in Noonan next to Art and Jake's. And we have some great products. Our interest rates are better than any other companies, and we also have some great products for the VA. We can do a better deal for you with fees than any other company. We have a lot of different kind of programs.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan. Same great taste. The best chicken around. Fish dinners. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan.
Want to give back to your community in a meaningful way? Cares for Kids is a Keller Williams Realty founded charity in which 100% of money raised goes directly to children in need in our area. Cares for Kids helps fund local organizations like Angel's House, Coweta Casa, Elevate, and more. Help Cares for Kids reach their mission of serving 1 million children. Call 678-634-9770 today to learn more on how to be involved, or text K for K Noonan to 44321 to donate.
Yo, what up, Noonan, Georgia? This is Parlay.
This is your captain speaking.
Part of your new Saturday morning crew. Come fly with us on the jet stream with non-stop service to weekend shenanigans with my co-host, DJ Peso.
This is Dave Scott, host of Spaced Out Radio. Come join us every week starting at midnight on WQEE 99.1 FM. Together, we will head down a path of mystery and unbelievable stories of people experiencing true tales of ghosts, UFOs, monsters from the finest storytellers we know. Tune in Spaced Out Radio nightly on WQEE 99.1 FM. We're together, my friends. We own the night.
That's right.
DJ Commando of the 45's Affair radio show, where I play all Bible 45s. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM.
A quick update for you right quick before we head out of this hour. Oh, yeah. Stay with us more on the ways the RyanORadio Penitentiary Cruise is on. Jay Cargo made a big debut on Smackdown Friday night. She helped Blanca Belair out and Naomi, setting up a three-way match against Damage Control at WrestleMania this weekend. New Catch Republic, they are heading to the five-way tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Electric Lopez defeated Zelina Vega, and it was a countdown this weekend. Escobar and comes face-to-face with LWO, his group. LA Knight disguised himself and attacks AJ Styles. They'll have a match this weekend. KO and Orton were beaten down pretty deadly when, of course, comes out the one, the only, Logan Paul. They all fought. Rey Mysterio made a challenge to Dom and Escobar in a tag team match, and he's going to have Dragon Lee instead of Carlito. Paul Heyman said that Roman Reigns ordered The Rock to attack Cody, and Jey Uso and Solo had a match prior to this weekend's Jey and Jimmy Uso match. Speaking of AEW, though, Matt Cardona faced Adam Copeland, the former Zack Ryder and Edge, who were Edge heads, face off for the TNT Championship at the end. Of course, Collision, best match of the night. House of Black attacks. That's what it is. WWE has offered Cody Rhodes a deal. Cody Rhodes signed another multi-year deal. It's WrestleMania week. We've got WrestleMania Friday coming up for you this Friday. We're going to be previewing everything and who we might think show up this weekend. We'll see. Tonight is the Monday Night Raw Go Home show. 3 hours. We'll see as it keeps building up going into Friday. And it's going to be a weekend. Hall of Fame. Who's part of the Hall of Fame this year? We'll give you updates throughout the week. We got a great guest, but that's WQEE 99.1 FM's RyanORadio Penitentiary. And you and I are going to stay right here. Let's go to the top of the hour with some headline news. Did the Braves win? I believe so. We're going to be the Braves are back in action today. We'll talk about that coming up in the next hour. Back in a moment. Wishbone, one day you got to go to it. Yes. You got to tell them you're coming. You were sent from the RyanORadio Penitentiary on WQEE. On WQEE.
Tune in Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10:30 to listen to the Sustainable Brown Girl Radio Show, hosted by me, Ariel Green. Each week, we'll learn ways to be more sustainable in our everyday lives. We'll discuss exciting environmental news, ways to get involved in local
Braves and White Sox today, 2:10 p.m.
saving the planet in their own unique ways. Be sure to listen to the Sustainable Brown Girl Radio Show every Thursday at 10 a.m.
You are live with CDP Sports Talk, sports and entertainment radio show, weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern, live only on
Braves Country Radio will have that game for you, and we're going to present it too. With Braves, our partnership with Braves Country Radio. 210 is the first pitch. We'll probably have that for you.
FM, the key. Sharpsburg.
Right behind the Rod Peterson show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Tammy Trujillo. Pope Francis is calling.
Let's see. The last game the Braves played.
The release of all Israeli hostages. The Pope's renewal of the call came during yesterday's Easter Mass. The Pontiff also spoke about other world events, including Ukraine.
No, yesterday the Phillies beat the Braves 5-4.
The mayor of Baltimore is speaking out against critics who have labeled him the DEI mayor following the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
This should not be even in conversation. We have to remain focused on the mission at hand and continue, from my vantage point, to prove those people wrong about people that look like me by doing my job in the best way that I can.
Speaking on CBS's Face the Nation, Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott was asked about critics who blamed the tragedy on diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Scott said the attacks are rooted in racism, adding that there are a lot of racists who don't think he should have the job because he's a young black man. The 39-year-old mayor says he's ignoring the noise. California's new $20 an hour minimum wage for fast food workers starts today. Brian Shook has details.
Democrats in the state legislature passed the law last year, saying more than 500,000 workers are not teenagers earning some spending money. The law was supported by the trade association representing fast food franchise owners. I'm Brian Shook.
This ain't Texas. Ain't no hold'em. Lay your cards down.
Beyonce's new album, Cowboy Carter's major hit, following its anticipated release. Beyonce released the album Friday, and by Saturday was already Spotify's most streamed album of 2024. Cowboy Carter was streamed over 76 million times on Spotify in 24 hours. It's the largest debut by a black female artist ever. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Okay, so Domino's Perfect Combo includes 2 medium wasabi pizzas, 16 Parmesan bread bites, 8 cinnamon twists, and a 2-liter of Coke. Today we're on the street asking real people how much they think it all costs. All of it? All of it. $44, $45? $34.99. The 2 pizzas are probably $10 each.
$75.
What if I told you that this Domino's Perfect Combo is only $19.99? Shut the front door. It's Domino's Perfect Combo, and it's all just $19.99.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's HomeAdvisor. HomeAdvisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that HomeAdvisor is completely free to use.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Made to order 100% Wagyu beef burgers that are 100% from Red Robin, starting at $6.99, which is 100%
awesome.
100% Wagyu beef burgers with fries, starting at $6.99.
Now I gotta go to Red Robin because the commercial's on.
That the 5-hour Hollywood 360 show and the 30-minute Radio Rarities podcast can be emailed to you every Monday via digital download link that never expires. That's 24 classic radio shows per month, plus the games, celebrity interviews, music trivia, and much more. Listen to Hollywood 360 and Radio Rarities whenever you'd like. Visit Hollywood360radio.com to subscribe. That's Hollywood360radio.com.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish
Okay, don't freeze up.
Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A, here in News.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a top expert in medical, health, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine Preston, your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan to fit your budget. She works with multiple companies, ensuring the best option just for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-5931. Speak to Charmaine Preston, CP Financial, your top local sales agent.
Family fun is back in Lynette. Primetime Carnival and Jordan Communications presents the Lynette Spring Carnival, April 2nd through the 7th. Rides, fun, food, games, more. Open nightly 6 p.m., 2 p.m. for weekends. Lynette Spring Carnival, Highway 29, Old Mill Parking Lot in Lynette, Alabama. April 2nd through the 7th. Family fun for you and me. Be there.
McDonald here from Cowboy Force. Cowboy Force is Newton's own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowboyforce.org or follow us on Facebook.
Hey, sports fans. Weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. Drive time on WQEE. Braves Country is a Southern sports talk show. Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. That's Braves Country. Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. Weekdays, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
Hey, sports fans, it's Ron Peterson here, host of the Ron Peterson Show, inviting you to join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE. I say fun because it is. You've never heard a show like it because we make the list.
Yeah, we had Trading Post, Let Us Help You Hour. I don't know how we had different names for it. I like to have one here at the station. I bet everybody'd love it.
That's the Ron Peterson Show, daily at noon, right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
Local, of course. Worldwide probably wouldn't work, but local to the East Alabama, West Georgia area, actually. Different parts of the United States like different things too. So Trading Post didn't go over too well out on the West Coast, but it goes very good in the South, Georgia, Alabama. What kind of American are you? You don't know? Civil War gonna be a good movie. There's people that would sponsor it. God bless America. Civil War, April 12th coming out for you. We'll talk about that with my movie reviewer, Shane, coming up closer to that. All right, it's the final period of play, ladies and gentlemen. We're going inside the Coach's Corner with Coach Tommy Lewis, a little sports this hour, and a little bit more. We got our big poll question update on this Monday. We've already got our major news hot topic of the day out of the way. We're going to talk a little sports and more with Coach Tommy Lewis coming up about half time of this period. Let's go ahead and kick it off right now. It's RyanORadio, Penitentiary. I'm your host of the most, the one, the only Ryan Neal, and of course, 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast, shout it out loud across that RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock, Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the there's 25 radio stations, internet and real radio out there, across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and finally, the Jordan Communication, a family radio station. The Talk of Atlanta. We are the Talk of Atlanta. Everybody's talking about us. 99.1 FM, WQEE, the key, home of inspirational talk, news, and Southern sports. We are the Talk of Atlanta, the heartbeat of Atlanta. We are all of that and much more because we're live. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. So what? And to my haters, I got one thing to say to all of them. Listen up, haters. I am the man around here, and you know what? It's the final period of play on this Monday edition. We've got coming up for you, it's At Home with Allison, and we're going to have a little bit of Warrior Defenders is going to debut her show in the 10 o'clock hour sometime this morning. We'll want you to stay tuned for that. Plus, today, and we got repeats for the remainder of the day going into 12. 12 to 2 would be the Rod Peterson show. He's back after an Easter weekend off on this Easter Monday. He's going to get you prepared. He's going to talk a little UFL football probably, CFL football, NFL, and NHL action. Also, a little baseball. 2 p.m. today, Braves Country Radio takes over the dial, following him as Matt McGee and the armchair quarterbacks are heading out to the field, to the diamond for the Braves taking on the White Sox today and Wednesday on the network. And we're going to have that for you. Also, the Braves won 2 of the 3 games in the beginning of the regular season over the weekend. Beginning of the regular season, the Braves won 2 of the 3, losing yesterday. They're back on, I think they're back on the road. Are they back on the road? I believe they're back on the road against the White Sox for the next 3 games. And then their first home games will begin this Friday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So we'll have more details on that all week long and get you great games going on right here. We'll be presenting some of those games to our friends at Braves Country Radio who have rights to the Atlanta Braves games. And they were like, hey, we want to do some of the games while we're on there. I'm like, what do we have to sign? They're like, this is it. This is the deal. I'm like, okay. So we'll have a few of them for you. Won't have every one of them. And hopefully we'll get some summer sports for you too on the network. And we're looking, that is a great idea, Pete, right there. All right, let's jump into it. It's speaking of the Braves did win Friday 9-3, Saturday 12-4, and lose to the Phillies 5-4 yesterday. The Braves are back in action today. 2:10 first pitch, 2 o'clock will be Braves Country Radio presenting all the information for you. We'll see you in a bit as well, Warriors defenders. But I tell you what, we got a lot in store for you. We're going to talk some sports. I'm going to give you the inside the coach's corner at about half mast here. So we'll get into that with Coach Tommy Lewis. 15 minutes past the hour, 62 degrees under cloudy skies. Southern States Bank, bringing you a look at it this go around. Southern States Bank, 20 Oak Hill Boulevard in Newnan, 30265. 8 to 5, your drive-through, 8:30 to a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can make your way, or Monday through Thursday, you make your way into the lobbies open. Personal banking and more business banking, Southern States Bank, bringing you a look at your time and temperature. All right, let's jump into it. We got a little bit of sports we're going to dive here for you. What is our poll question today? Thank you for asking. Once again, who will win the Final Four? Alabama, NC State, UConn, and Purdue. UConn and Alabama plays this weekend. NC State and Purdue play this weekend. 47% of you believe the Alabama Crimson Tide will bring home a championship this year, at least on the court. 21% of you believe NC State and 21% of you believe UConn are going to win it. And only 11% of you believe Purdue can make that round trip and defeat NC State and then defeat either UConn or Alabama. So there you go. Pete says he believes Bama. I agree with him. I'm an Auburn guy. I agree. I'm saying Bama's going to win it. I think it's going to be Alabama and North Carolina State in the final game. I'm not going to say UConn is not going to be hard for Alabama to beat. I'm just saying that I believe Alabama's going to win it overall too. So, and if they do make it to the Final Four, or if they do make it to the Final Two, if they make it into the finals with Alabama, with whoever, either North Carolina State or Purdue, I guarantee you a former football coach would be there. Oh, yeah, I guarantee you he'll be there. And number 6, Clemson edged number 2, Arizona, before number 4, Alabama displaced number 1, North Carolina, claiming the second of 2 spots in the Elite 8. Moving on to the Final Four after this past weekend. We're giving you the Final Four there. Wow, what a weekend it was for in the March Madness, as March Madness will be concluding in April this weekend. Ray Warren Franco was placed on administrative leave through June 1st. The Rays announced this last week that Franco was removed from the 40-man roster after an investigation. The allegations of his relationship with a minor came to light online. Wow. Franco needed to have a good start for the season, but doesn't look like he's going to get into June 1st. Now, court officials say through June 30th, or until his court case is resolved, he probably will be out. Wow. Agree it's going to be Bama and North Carolina? I agree too. Let's take a look at the Columbus River Dragons up and down weekend for them as the FPHL finals are coming up in a week. They're going to be back home this weekend. The Blue Ridge Bobcats are going to be in town on Friday and Saturday at the Columbus Civic Center. Tickets are available at rdragons.com. And I'm going to be talking to Tom Callahan about an idea I have for him in the station. The Rockers beat the Dragons 4-2, and then the Prowlers beat the Dragons 6-5 on Saturday. The Dragons will be back home this weekend against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. So there you go. Bama, North Carolina State, I see. Yes. In the Final Four. All right, there's a lot of hockey action, baseball action, and much more. Braves and White Sox today, 2 o'clock will be the pregame, starting right at the top of the hour with the Braves Country Radio Network presenting the Braves and the White Sox on their network. And they say, hey, we want to put it on your station. I'm like, what do we need to do? So there you go. A few of those games throughout the season, not all the time. When Matt McGee is calling games, we'll have some of those games for you. All right. I'm gonna give you some of the scores and highlights of the UFL before we get our Inside the Coach's Corner. Hopefully I didn't miss too much. Just woke up. No worries. Captain Hot Bun. We just talked about the Doomsday Cult members. That's all we did last hour, and a few other things that were going on in the regular news. Nothing major. But we're getting ready to do some sports here. your Arizona Diamondbacks are going to be heading to the Braves this weekend in Atlanta. Captain Husband's be like, I'm not an Arizona fan, I'm an LA fan. Guys think it's weird though. A lot of people live in Arizona are Los Angeles Angels or Dodgers fans. Or they like Chicago White Sox or Chicago Cubs. And the White Sox are going to be playing host to the Braves today at 2:10 p.m. Braves Country Radio is going to have that game for you, and we'll be presenting it for you on this Monday and Wednesday from Braves Country Radio with Matt McGee. So there you go. All right, this past weekend, and I'm going to tell you who we got a guest coming up inside the Coach's Corner in just a few moments with Coach Tommy Lewis. Tomorrow morning, the full almost 40 minutes with our movie expert, Shane B, in the final period. He and I are going to talk about top 10 movies, what's hot, what's not, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Godzilla and Kong, New Empire. We'll get into all of that tomorrow. I knew it, Captain Hot Buns. I knew it. Angels fan. See, I lived out on the West Coast before. I knew it. See, I know. I pay attention to things. We'll have Shane tomorrow talking those movies, and getting closer to the Civil War movie coming out April 12th. Weird Wednesday, Randy Rocket Cody joins us. We'll talk a little Mick Mars, Motley Crue, drama, music news, metal music news, and we'll get into the Sam Kinison, the late great comedian's murder conspiracy. We'll get into that on Weird Wednesday with Randy Rocket Cody from themetalden.com. And on True Crime Thursday, we're going to travel with Histories and Mysteries, travel blogger, travel expert, tour guide, Family Feud champion, and more. Sally Toole will be with us on Thursday. And Friday, since it's WrestleMania weekend, I'm going to be in the final period on Friday, period number 3. I'm going to be previewing and reviewing the WWE Hall of Fame, WrestleMania, my thoughts going into that weekend. Won't be the whole morning, just so if you're not a wrestling fan, don't worry about it. I won't take the whole show over for it, but we'll be doing that on Friday. So great guests all week long and stuff to go on. All right, let's see. I want to do this. UFL did good over the weekend. They're having to compete with Major League Baseball going on right now. March Madness ending. NBA, NHL, pretty soon finals. And with the offseason of the NFL, which is the king of football in the United States. And then with CFL beginning in May, they have a lot to do. And even The Rock brought up the NFL and the CFL this past Saturday in the Birmingham-Arlington game. Man, oh, man, oh, man. If you smell what the Croc is cooking. He's got to be at WrestleMania this weekend. But the week started off pretty well for UFL fans. USFL dominated the divisions over the weekend over the XFL with only one XFL team winning. Hockey, go Red Wolves. I'm ready for that. In a competitive battle of the XFL and USFL champions, the Arlington Renegades fell to the Birmingham Stallions on Saturday in the opening contest, 27-17, and a big loss as the Renegades continue to move forward. It was a back-and-forth game, but as halftime was approaching, the Renegades were leading 11-1, but heading into halftime, oh, yes, Ricky Persons tied it up at 11-11, and then coming out next was the 27-17 win over the Renegades. Now, I was saying 27-14 on ESPN, so I don't know where the 27-17 loss come on here. I've got 27-14. Sorry, it's 27-14, ladies and gentlemen. Stallions beat them 27-14. The Panthers defeated the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks 18-16. The Brahmas defeated the DC Defenders. San Antonio defeated them 27-12. And the Memphis Showboats roughed up the Roughnecks in Houston 18-12. So 3 of the 4 teams that are representing the USFL came out on top. We're going to dive deeper in this with Coach Tommy Lewis in just a few moments. But what a competitive weekend it was. Next weekend, the Battlehawks and the St. Louis Battlehawks will play host to the Arlington Renegades, April 6th, ABC, 7 p.m. Also next Sunday, 1 p.m., Detroit, Michigan is the site of the Birmingham Stallions taking on the Michigan Panthers in week 2. Wow. No. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Want to go to the official UFL page here. Scores and highlights and games coming up this weekend. We told you 2 of them. Let me give you a couple other games coming up. You've got San Antonio Brahmas taking on the Memphis Showboats. You've got Houston Roughnecks and the DC Defenders. And standings, we already told you. Starship Trooper fan. Okay. The Roughnecks. You're going for the Roughnecks. San Antonio is the only XFL conference team to win this weekend, to stay in the top there at number 1. St. Louis Battlehawks, Renegades, and DC Defenders all 0. I think the Brahmas beat the DC Defenders. And the Roughnecks were beat by the Showboats in the USFL conference. We got big games coming up next weekend. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on in the UFL. I'm excited. Good weekend start. They got to keep the excitement going. They got a lot of competition, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of competition. Good morning. Hello?
Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
Hey, this is Kenny on a recorded line with Affordable Rent.
All right. Thank you very much. If you'd have been right, you'd have stayed on. People want to mess with me while I'm on the air. Kind of like conspiracy theorists. Those jobs should be AI, right? We should all have nothing but AI jobs for, call center people. Yeah, but what will they do? They can go get a $20 an hour job at the burger joint. Ron, you're mean. Well, some people are mean to me about my business, so why do I care? They shouldn't be bothering me while I'm working. I don't even know what they wanted. Hey, we're going to get you. Like they're going to pay my rent and stuff. Going to pay my rent? Huh, come on. Somebody going to pay my rent. I never seen that in my life ever happen. I mean, people that don't have money, yeah, I'm down with government assistance. But that wasn't a government assistance program. That was, we want to sign you up for this, and this, and we'll help you pay your rent. Because they always start off, do you want to get your rent paid? Yeah, sure, man. What are you going to get? And then they get you into somebody who's going to give you some kind of a deal to make you pay $500 a month or something. You got the best insurance in the business. You're going to pay my rent? No, man, we ain't paying your rent. We just conned you into getting insurance. Call centers. Jobs of the past. Back in a moment.
Real Estate has 8 offices throughout the state of Alabama. That includes located parts of Colby, Florence, Killen, Muscle Shoals, Orange Beach, and Dolphin Island. There are more than 140 agents throughout Alabama. You can easily reach one of those agents by going to marmac.us and tell them your sent you. On this Make a Difference Minute, I have Brenda Gann and Angela.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? Oh, we'll go on in a few minutes. It's Ryan. Was that the coach or was it not? Hello?
I'm gonna make biscuits, and they're not gonna see me, but they're gonna watch my hand, and I'm sure that. And I did, and I put it on my little personal video page, my own little page. I have about 500 people on it, most of the church folks. And that thing went viral in 2 weeks. It was 1 million views. So now my show on Cooking with Brenda Gale on Facebook is right at 3 million. It's just a little bit shy of 3 million people. And so that's how it started. And it's just important for me for people to be able to cook from scratch.
To find out more about Cooking with Brenda Gant, follow Cooking with Brenda Gant on Facebook. Gant is spelled G-A-N-T-T. Be sure to follow The Mark White Show on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to The Mark White Show podcast wherever you get your podcasts. This is Mark White encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today. Active Pest Control offers the best services and prices to protect your home, offering both monthly and quarterly pest control services, plus specific services like insects are all around you. Active Pest Control. Protect, follow, test, termite control. Active Pest Control. Headquarters Jefferson Street, Greenville. 732-994-41.
Hey, what's up, Rhino?
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Just pretty good?
Yeah, just pretty good. Just
Getting a little down. Is everything all right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a hard month and everything, and you know, there's trying to get new accounts, and it's just getting worse and worse because you know I just signed Southern States Bank. April Fools, I'm good.
Come on, man.
I had to mess with you.
Well, you got me, that's for sure.
I am good for all the normal, you know, all the normal things that everybody goes through. So I'm really good. I just wanted to do an April Fool's joke on you.
Well, you got me for sure.
And I'd rather do it off the air than on the air. So.
Oh man, that was a good one, man. You got me on that one.
Yep.
You got me good.
I was like, my wife asked me, what kind of joke you gonna do tomorrow? I was like, I don't know. And I've been warning everybody all morning is April Fools. I hadn't said the name. I just said, you know what today is, da 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 da. I even got it in my weather forecast that don't let the pranksters get you today. So I'm trying to warn everybody what it is. And I said, all right, I'm going to get Coach. I'm going to see if he knows I'm messing with him.
Well, you definitely got me, brother. There's no doubt about that. You got me good because I was completely oblivious.
Yeah, I said I wanted to end it earlier because I better not take it too long. But yeah, everything's really good for real. I got two good accounts coming on for the next couple of months, and
well, that's awesome. I'm good to hear. I'm glad to hear that.
yes, they call me, so they know the station. So when accounts like this call you, one's a bank and then one's a hotel that's got a stay lodge type thing, the second in the country for this company, and they're going to be live on my show and everything later this month.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay. I was like, we'll take your money. I mean, I'll help you out.
Yeah, man. It's ain't nothing wrong with a little mutual beneficial relationship, right?
Exactly. Especially all the hard work I'm going through, and you know what you have to put up with to do this.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot harder than it looks. All right, we're getting ready to go on, Coach. We'll talk about landmark sports. We'll talk about the first weekend of the UFL, and we'll talk about March Madness finals.
All right, that sounds great, brother.
All right. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. And we are going inside the coach's corner with our favorite head football coach of the Landmark Christian War Eagles. Please welcome head coach Tommy Lewis. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning, Rhino. How you doing today?
I'm doing good on this Monday. How about yourself?
Oh, doing great, doing great. So far, I've only been had one time on an April Fool's joke, so I'm doing pretty good.
Better watch out. It is April 1st, so you got to do a little. You got to watch out for those pranksters and tricksters out there on this day.
I tell you what, man, that's the truth right there. You got to watch out for those guys that are just looking to pull one on you, but it's all in good fun, and I'm an easy one to get to. I'm pretty gullible, so it's all good.
Good. Well, it's a good thing all your sons are not at home right now, so they all be planning something to get you.
That's the truth right there, brother. You said something there, man.
They're like, we got to get dads.
Yeah, oh yeah, but I'm sure they'll call me or do something to me today. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. They've probably been planning it all weekend.
Exactly.
Well, I hope you had a great Resurrection Sunday and everything yesterday.
Absolutely, man. Nothing better than celebrating the risen Lord, especially when you can do it with family. And so, yeah, it was good. We got a chance to visit our oldest son and his family and celebrate the Lord Jesus risen from the dead and overcoming sin and death. And so it was a great day, and well, it's a great life when you can live for Him.
It definitely is a blessing, and I enjoyed it myself yesterday. It seems like Resurrection Sunday yesterday. It meant something different this year than in past to me. It just seemed like a whole new, real fresh start for the new 2024 year.
That's awesome, man. And another odd, I don't know, statistic, I guess, to go along with it was it just kind of hit me that we're already 25% through the year.
Oh, I know, right?
So no time like the present to receive Him and live for Him, and give you a whole new outlook on life.
That's so true. That is so true, Coach. And I tell you what, I can't wait for that. It'll be pretty soon. We'll be ready for NFL football, and we'll be getting ready to get Christmas gifts. So we'll be talking about that later on. But before we get into UFL football, the first weekend, the Final Four, your thoughts on all that, I want to get into what's going on at Landmark. Let's talk a little bit about Landmark and what's going on with spring sports.
Yes, sir. Well, we had another week that was kind of ravaged by the weather. With spring sports, all being outdoors and, with spring showers and thunderstorms and things like that, we're kind of at the mercy of the weather. But our tennis team continues to ramp up for the region and state tournament. Both the boys and girls are looking at a real good shot at qualifying for state again this year. Our golf team is as well. So those things go really well. Soccer did actually play a game.
Okay.
We had senior night against Callaway, and it was not only a great celebration of our seniors, but it was a lot on the line last Tuesday night.
Right.
I know as both the boys and the girls were playing for the region championship, kind of in a winner-take-all situation in both the boys and the girls versus Callaway High School, and both teams won. So we got region champions with the girls, region champions with the boys, and it's actually the first time in school history that our girls team went back-to-back with region titles. So needless to say, our soccer program is very excited, and as region champs, both of them will get a nice high seed in the state tournament that'll be coming up after spring break and later on in April. So that was a great week to celebrate our Landmark boys and girls soccer programs.
Right.
And baseball had a bunch of games canceled, reshuffled. We had to end up doing a doubleheader on Thursday when the weather finally cleared, and we had a doubleheader at home against Towers High School, and we were able position for a runner-up.
Right.
They're going into state playoffs as well. And then finally, our track program. I tell you what, it seems like each week I'm talking about one of our teams or runners or setting a new school record. Breaking out into the top 20, 25 in the state. And last week was no different. They were actually down in Florida competing, Rhino, against some of the best high schools in the country, and really had a great showing. Had a great trip down on the Florida relays. They'll get back. They have a day of practice today. I think they'll have another day of practice tomorrow and possibly Wednesday, and then they'll head back south again because it's our spring break this week, Rhino. And
okay.
They'll head back down to Florida for another a set of meets down there in the Orlando area. So the track program is really doing well. Again, any of our listeners out there that have track-oriented families, you're not going to find a better combination of high-level competition, high-level training, and a great Christian school if you want your children to get involved in our track program. It's
excellent.
really
Yes.
doing a great job.
It definitely is. Well, Coach, it's a lot of great things going on at Landmark, and we're going to be talking about spring football as we get closer to May. That's getting close. It's around the corner, and in the next couple of weeks, we're going to dive into that when you're getting ready for spring training for the big spring training football game coming up, spring game coming up. We'll talk about that later on in the next couple of weeks because it's just the beginning of April. But I do want to talk football. And I got to say this in my own personal view, the UFL, because The Rock talked about it over the weekend. He talked about CFL, NFL, and the competition coming together. I believe they put on their best show this weekend, knowing that they had to compete with the offseason NFL and the soon-to-be CFL and the USFL. 3 of those teams dominated over the weekend. What was your take overall for all the games this past weekend, and what was your take on the UFL as a whole?
Yeah, no, I think, again, it's just a great league. It gives these guys another opportunity to prove they can make it to the big league, the NFL.
Right.
It gives all of us fans some high-quality football to watch in the off-season in the spring. And, I guess the only thing that I was a little bit disappointed in is I felt like, some of these guys have maybe been, particularly the quarterback position. Some of these guys have been doing this for a little while. And,
right.
And it's like, okay, it's time for maybe the next generation to kind of step in there. And, and granted, I have a couple of personal ties and
of course.
Personal feelings about it, but
right.
I felt like Lindsey Scott, who's playing for the Renegades this year, he's behind Perez there. I felt like it's time to give a new quarterback a shot there, and then also with the Panthers,
right.
Danny Etling, both those guys were LSU teammates of our oldest son, Caleb, when he was there, and
right.
And we just feel like Danny and Lindsey, didn't get out on the field a whole lot this past weekend, but I know they're going to keep working hard and they'll be ready for their shot when they get it.
I can see that too, and I think the weekend to me was this is something new. We got 2 leagues coming together. We got a lot of people anticipating this, and if we don't give our best showing, it's just going to be one of those things that people are like, whatever, it's coming on this weekend. I got other things to do. Because we're in the midst of Major League Baseball season starting, the end of March Madness, NHL, NBA finals around the corner. So there's so much other going on during spring and summer. And then CFL starts in May that I think they were trying to give their best showing this past weekend.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Rhino. And I believe that, certainly the conventional thinking is, let's go with some veterans that'll put out the best product on the field and those kind of things. So I get it. Again, just a little bit of a personal.
I understand,
personal feelings in there. Just give some of these other guys a shot. But I thought it was really good football. I think it's a great way to get these guys more reps, try to get them in the league, and again, it's entertaining football. So
It was good.
You know, it's not just something to pass the time with, and it's good competition. And you know, I think you got to whittle down to the best of the best as far as the you know the leagues go. You know, putting those two leagues together,
Mm-hmm.
coming up with those 8 teams, and should be a lot of fun this spring to watch them.
And you know what? Another thing, Coach, about it is the games were exciting to me because they did go back and forth. I watched them on Saturday, the Stallions and the Renegades, the Battlehawks and the Panthers. These were back and forth games, low scoring games, back and forth. To me, it was exciting, real football. You know, it wasn't one team was dominating another.
No, yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I think you'll see the offenses pick it up just a little bit as they get further into the season. You know, they always say that, you know, offense lags behind defense just a little bit. You know,
Exactly.
It requires so much more continuity and timing and chemistry than it does on defense. So I think some of these offenses will get it going here before too long as well. So, but like I said, it was really good football, really good entertaining football, and you know, hopefully the UFL is here to stay.
Well, they brought all the punches out for the first game between the XFL and the USFL champions, and Deion Sanders was one of the ones that made an appearance. And I liked how they were interviewing people even during the game, and then you could actually hear the plays, even though you couldn't, you know, you didn't really know what the plays were from the coach. That's another thing that's different about this. You can hear the plays on the field from the head coach to his players on the field. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, it's very entertaining. It's very fan-centric, you know, to get the fans even more involved in the game and try to, you know, elevate their awareness of the game and get them really in tune to what's going on. And because I know that there are a lot of fans out there that are very interested in that. They want to know more about the game. They want to learn about the game and be educated. So I think it was awesome to be able to do that. And you know, we're already starting to see some of the ripple effects from this new league in the NFL. I mean, the NFL is already looking at adopting, you know, some of the rules from these last 2 leagues, and you know, so it's forcing everyone to be a little more creative, a little more fan-centric, and I think that's a better thing for everybody.
I love it, and that's what I'm saying. Let's move over to the Final Four. I've got a poll question up for my listeners this morning, and I asked them who will win the Final Four. You got Alabama so far, 48% of you voted. NC State, 24% of you voted. UConn, 19% of you voted. And Purdue, only 10% of you feel that way. Coach, let's talk about the Final Four going into this weekend as March Madness concludes in the Final Four, and then we'll get down to the wire to the Final 2.
Yeah, well, needless to say that, you know, it sounds like you got either a rabid Alabama fan base out there for you, Rhino.
Must be.
You just got a bunch of guys and girls out there that love March Madness for the name's sake.
Right.
It is craziness having, you know, I guess not outlandish that a 4 seed in Alabama would make it, but
right.
Certainly they upset a couple of great teams along the way.
Yes.
And then for NC State to make it, I mean, it's reminiscent of their 1983 run, and
yes,
a ton of fun to watch them play. And so it doesn't surprise me that your fans out there are pulling for the underdogs. I love doing that too. But I'm going to tell you what.
Okay.
It seems like it's been a collision course from day one for Purdue and UConn. Those
yes.
teams just seem to be too tough to beat. I mean, when you have a player like Connect go off at 37 points and is burying threes from all over the place, and Purdue still comes out victorious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, behind their big man, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Eddie or Edie?
Right.
You know, he had 40 points and 15 rebounds, and just a fantastic game. They couldn't stop him, and so I know conventional wisdom would say that it's going to be a UConn Purdue final after the Final Four, but if you believe in destiny and
miracles,
those kinds of things, it very well could be an NC State Alabama final.
It could be. It could be a lot. There are a lot of people are saying that in my feed. They're saying for NC State and Alabama. I don't know if it's just let's go. Alabama is a name, a bigger name out of all of these because of Nick Saban over the years, of course. And but they've had great opportunities on the court. So I can see Alabama either taking on North Carolina State or Purdue coming up. So, you know.
Yeah, and how about, we got another great story of a coach just, was about 11 years ago that the Alabama coach was a high school coach.
Yes.
And now he's taking Alabama to his first Final Four ever. So that's pretty cool story.
Yeah, Coach Oates, he's and they re-signed him too. So, I mean, he knows he's got a job. So
that's always nice to know. For sure.
That's what I'm saying. And a pretty good deal at it. So March Madness, we'll talk more about that going into this weekend and everything. Well, Coach, we've got a couple more minutes left with you. Tell us what's going on at Landmark.
Well, as I mentioned maybe or alluded to before, we're on spring break right now. Got our families all out. Had a great time this weekend celebrating the risen Lord, and we're getting right back into it with some of our programs. They'll be practicing over the break. Like I said, track will be competing down in Florida again over the break.
Right.
So we're on spring break. So our admissions offices are closed this week. If anybody's interested, please you can still email them. They will respond. Admissions at landmark-cs.org, and set up an appointment with them for after break. Next week we'll be right back at it. So starting April 8th, we'll be right back at it, inviting people on our campus to come check us out. We've had a very busy spring thus far, so I just want to encourage everybody to come out as soon as you can. The sooner you apply, the better chance you have of getting in, and the sooner you apply, if you need financial aid, the sooner you apply for those things, better chance you have of getting the financial award you need to send your kids to Landmark. So just really look forward to anybody coming out and checking us out, Rhino, and would love to show people around.
Sounds good. Well, Coach, anything else you'd like to add before we let you get out of here?
Just appreciate you there, Rhino, all you guys do at WQEE and everything you do for our community, and for having us on in our relationship. We really appreciate what y'all do to help us out at Landmark, Rhino, and hope y'all have a great week.
You do the same, Coach. Well, that's been Coach Tommy Lewis, the head football coach at Landmark Christian. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
And remember, Coach, try to not get fooled anymore today.
As long as I don't run into you again, Rhino.
Sounds good. Back in a moment. All right, Coach, that was good as always.
All right, brother, man. I appreciate you, Rhino. You have a great day. And
you too.
Back to fight you, bud.
All right. I hope not.
Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you next Monday. Talk to you next Monday. All right.
Bye, bro.
Bye.
Duke, NC State and Purdue will face off Saturday night in Arizona. While number 1 UConn battles 4-seed Alabama. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander made the game-winning jumper with just 2 seconds left as the Thunder beat the Knicks to clinch their first playoff spot since 2020. Nuggets clinched a playoff spot after crushing the Cavs. Luka Doncic game-high 47, topped the Mavericks, snapped the Rockets' 11-game win streak. Juan Soto hit a go-ahead RBI single in the 9th. Yankees swept the Astros in the 4-game series in Houston. Brewers completed a 3-game sweep of the Mets. That's now 0-3 for the first time.
Thank you there, Captain Hot Buns. I appreciate it, brother.
NBC News Radio.
Should call all your local radio stations and say, hey, you need to put this guy on. That'll work.
You're walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail. You get that feeling.
Let's see here.
Somebody's coming up on you. What do you do to be prepared in today's world? Hi, I'm Holly. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical learning self-defense. All women of all ages have the ability to learn how to defend themselves effectively with technical drills to build their survival skills. You can be your own hero. Classes and private seminars are available. Learn today to have a safer tomorrow. WarriorDefenders.com.
Carl here from Coweta Force. Coweta Force is new and zone addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowetaforce.org or follow us on Facebook.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish dinners, open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton.
Hello, everyone. This is DJ Commando of a 45's Affair radio show where I play all vinyl 45s. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Newnan, Georgia. Oh, here we go. What on earth? Well, they're the hosts. Doesn't mean you can show up whenever you want. Yeah. They're also the longest running tag champs ever coming down here, aren't they? I think they're going to be in this matchup. What? You can't just put yourself in matches when you're the host. Ladies and gentlemen, as your WrestleMania hosts, we must inform you that we have just received word. That this ladder match has now become a fatal four-way, which means that there is one more team involved in this match. Now, I wonder who this fourth team could possibly be. What? Oh my! You gotta be kidding me! Things are about to be broken! Team Extreme is back! I gotta check! The party boys are here! I've got goosebumps! You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me!
WrestleMania 33. Matt and Jeff Hardy returning. Surprise returns. We're going to talk about this on Friday. Who I think's going to show up. Who's going to have a surprise return and who's going to show up. Now, I think none of these teams are really. Most everybody's either most everybody's at AEW right now. This is a part of that. So there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get the final four. Who will be in the final four? Out of the four teams, there's going to be Alabama, UConn this weekend, North Carolina State, NC State, and Purdue. 45% of you believe that our friends Alabama are going to be in it. 23% believe NC State and 23% UConn, and everybody's just leaving Purdue out with 9% of the votes. We'll have another poll question tomorrow morning. It's going to have to do with movies. Since Shane B joins us in the final period, we'll talk about the top 10 movies. Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire, The Frozen Empire of the Ghostbusters, Civil War, April 12th coming out. We might not do that tomorrow, but the next week. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's movie reviews. What's hot, what's not tomorrow on the network. So get ready for all of that. Stay tuned. We've got still to come. At Home with Allison, we'll follow that up with Ollie Reese from Warrior Defenders is going to have a show for you. And then we'll have some best of. And then at 12 noon to 2 p.m., it's the Rod Peterson Show, the best sports lineup in the business. Braves Country Radio presents some Atlanta Braves action as they talk about it and get you some betting odds and stuff from 2 to 5. And we'll have all that for you on the network. So don't you dare move away. Rick Smith Show at 5 p.m. and yours truly back here at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for more Rhino Radio Penitentiary. Live radio for you people. All morning live. We are the talk of Atlanta. We're talked about as the news, Southern sports and inspirational talk station, 99.1 FM WQEE the Key. And you guys have a great day too. Stay tuned. Go to our network. If you're going to follow us, in our description, there is a link to the WQEE Key page. WrestleMania week, great guest all week long. This is going to be one heck of a week for the Rhino Radio Penitentiary. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. So what? Back tomorrow morning. Peace, love, respect. I'm out of here. Guys, you have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Share, like, subscribe, and share. Send to your friends. Like, subscribe, and share. Send to your friends. Send to your friends. Get them on. Let them listen to the greatest radio station around. All talk, all day, all real live people. See you later.